Hi, so this was supposed to be just a routine 11-week pregnancy update. It's kind of anything but that. Um, when you are over 35, they give you an option to have some pretty intense genetic testing done, and we opted to have it done. Our insurance covered it, and I'm just the kind of person that I would want to know what I have coming my way. So they test for Down syndrome. They test for two of the other trisomy genetic disorders. I believe they test for some heart disorders as well. Also in there, they give you the sex of the baby. So we thought, was trying to think on the positive side of just getting excited to get back what the baby is instead of having to wait till you're, 16 weeks plus to see it through the ultrasound. So on Veterans Day on Tuesday, me and Eric went to go have this done. We were told it was just a blood draw. So while we were there, they have all sorts of testing and scanning and things everywhere, and they had this insane ultrasound machine. And so I was just kind of playing with the girls and saying, hey, how much would I have to slip you guys to just hurry and do an ultrasound? I really wanted to see the progress of this little one. Our doctor does do ultrasounds, but he does them very, very quickly. And I just was just playing around with them, telling Eric I'd love to see the baby again. So they took us back into the room, and like I says, I'm just expecting just to get a quick blood draw and head out the door. We had other things to do that day. This wasn't something we thought was going to take up a lot of time. And they take me into this room, and there's this huge ultrasound machine. And I was kind of confused, and I says, oh no, that's part of the testing. We do a scan, and then you go have your blood drawn. The scans just to really check for like major abnormalities and just to get a size on the baby, because you do have to be 10 weeks along to have this testing done or it won't be accurate. So we thought, heck, we hit the jackpot. This is going to be fun. Then, get an ultrasound. So they start doing it, and we're just loving every minute of it. It's up here on this huge big screen, and, Eric's videotaping it and watching, and they start the scan, and the baby's flipping around and moving and kicking, and we're seeing, feet and these legs kicking out, and it was just fun. I thought, oh, this is just this little bonus that I get, and then I'll get my blood drawn, and 7 to 10 days we'll get results back and find out what this little baby is. And of course, I was nervous to get the results back, but I was just really trying to think on the positive side and getting excited to find out the sex of the baby. So through the scan, and this thing felt like 25 minutes. She was training another girl, so I thought that was cool because I knew it was going to take a little bit longer and I'd get to see the baby more. When they finished, of course, through the whole thing, I'm asking, how are things looking? Is everything looking okay? How's the heart rate? And they were saying everything looks fine. Everything looks great. Baby looks great. When they finished, they said, the specialist doesn't need to come in and talk to you. He just kind of goes over what we've seen, and then from there you'll get your blood drawn, and then we'll see you for your targeted, your 18 to 20 week ultrasound. So, we're just sitting there, we're giddy, we're happy. There was a couple different times we thought we kind of saw what the sex of the baby was, so we're just in our own little world. This specialist comes in, and he's just super dry, really young, just so dry, this his personality, and he's just going over some things, some risks with my age and the testing, exactly what it's for and what it's going to give us. And then at the very end, after he says, everything looks good, he drops this little thing on us. Says, oh, by the way, there's something here I really don't like. It's really nothing I want to get into right now. I just don't want to draw more attention to that particular thing. But he was concerned, and says, I want you back in 2 weeks to do another scan to see if this has changed. And just kind of then he was just kind of done with us. Like I said, he just was really dry. And so I think, as the time went on, I'm in there getting my blood drawn, and, Eric's on the phone with the insurance, and it's just kind of slowly sinking in of what this doctor said. And it just, I know, it's like your world goes from being excited and having this fun scan and just thinking this was going to be this quick little stop, this little thing, and then you get this news, and it's just it's almost like it takes a long time for it to penetrate, and then it just starts kind of overwhelming you. And then you do the worst thing that anybody should ever do. And I got started Googling. Don't Google. Do not Google. And then you just kind of start to realize how bad this situation could potentially be. And so, needless to say, the rest of that day was really bad for me. Everything made me just cry. I couldn't look at Eric. I couldn't really think about me being pregnant. It was a nightmare. It was a really, really long night. I called and requested my doctor to call me back, my actual OBGYN, to run it past him, and he never called, which was unlike him, so that was really hard. But the next day, Eric was home with me. They sent him home from work because of what was going on with me, and that day just changed. That day I turned angry, just really bitter and angry and questioning everything. That probably doesn't sound logical, but when it's you that this has happened to and it's so fresh, all you can think is, why me? You start to get angry when you see these other women that have these little beautiful newborns. I mean, everything affected me. We, out in public, we're seeing little babies, or we're seeing, pregnant women, or even just car seats or anything that had to do with the baby. I started getting angry and bitter and starting to close off. And I don't know if that was a self-protection mode or just going through the range of emotions that you go through. But I started getting really angry. I kind of felt like I've already, in a sense, taken my turn with this. I've had some problems in my pregnancies before. I've had a very, very traumatic birth with my third child. He ended up in the NICU. I mean, we were told they didn't even know if he was going to live when they first took him. I've lost some babies, so I kind of just, in a way thought, I've done my time. I've done this, and here's Eric having his first baby, and he deserves this beautiful experience. And so I was definitely in my own head there for that day, and thank God I have such an amazing, strong husband, because he just really kept me grounded. It seemed like he has basically carried me, not just supported me, but carried me from the day that this all went down. So, as far as the pregnancy goes, I've been a lot more sick and a lot more exhausted, but I'm sure it's due to the circumstances. Had a hard time trying to enjoy anything about it, or thinking about it, or looking at baby stuff, or even thinking about decorating the room. It's just hard to get back on that track. So my doctor did call me back and moved our appointment up a week. He didn't want me to have to wait an extra week. He didn't think it was necessary to wait an extra week, and he's having me see a different specialist. So that did give me a little bit of hope and some comfort. So right now we're just doing what we can. Like I said, every day feels like a week. Every morning I wake up, I go through that initial 15 seconds when you first come awake, realizing what my situation is. And at nighttime it's the same thing. So our appointment is next Wednesday. Today's Saturday, and I'm just going to do the best I can to keep myself busy to get to that point, and just hoping and praying that this baby is just strong enough that some things got turned around. Maybe I don't know, maybe something was misread. God, just maybe something's going to change, because it just makes you, I would love more than anything to get some good news. It makes you realize that when you see all these people that get pregnant and they go through this pregnancy and everything's just blissful, and they're posting pictures of their belly like I was, and everything just goes without a hiccup, and they deliver this beautiful baby, like how truly lucky, truly blessed that they are. Because when you get something like this thrown at you, you realize, how amazing that would be to go through that process without anything like this. Because when this happens, it literally turns your whole world, upside down. So I'm definitely more grateful for the healthy pregnancies and deliveries and babies that I do have. I said, I spend all this time just thinking, why me, why me, why me? But then you have to sit there and go, you know what? I know so many people, and there's so many amazing, healthy wonderful, positive parents that have had just the most tragic things happen to them. So what in the world would make me think that I'm going to be any different? So it's going to happen to somebody. I mean, why not me? Why not us? So we just have to deal with it and roll with it. And what's going to happen is going to happen, and trying to stay positive at the same time. So yeah, this is the 11-week update. Definitely different than I thought it was going to be. Makes you see how fast your life can change. So I will post again Wednesday for sure. Either way, when we find out what the baby is, when we find out what's going on with the baby, I'll definitely keep the updates going. So thank you to my friends and family who've been really supportive and been there for us. And definitely thank you to my husband who has put his own feelings and hurt and fear aside to take care of me and this little one. So hopefully we will have some good news when I post again. If not, we will adjust from there and move on from there. So thank you for taking the time to watch, and I wish you all a great day, and love your family extra close today, and be grateful for what you have. Again, thank you for all the support that we've been given. I appreciate it, and we will post again as soon as we have some news.